Hey everyone, we're all constantly upgrading things, right? Our phones, our apps, we get that little notification and bam, we hit update. But have you ever stopped to think about the one thing we almost never upgrade? Ourselves. So today we're diving into Dr. Vivek Visoya's incredible insights on this very topic, why learning something new is absolutely crucial for your mental health. Let's get into it.
Think about it for a second. Your phone is constantly nagging you, right? Update available. Update now. We chase the latest models, we get excited about new features. But what about us? When was the last time you consciously decided to upgrade, you? That's the big question we're tackling today.
So, let's talk about that feeling. You know the one I mean. That sense of just being stuck. It's like your life is a car stuck in the mud. The wheels are spinning, you're burning fuel, making a lot of noise, but you're not actually going anywhere. If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are definitely not alone. It's a super common feeling.
And here's where Dr. Visoya makes a really powerful point. He says that when we stop learning, when we stop growing, our internal world actually starts to shrink. We begin to doubt ourselves. We feel more emotionally fragile. Think of it like a muscle, right? If you stop using it, it gets weaker. It's the same with our minds.
And that feeling of stagnation, it kicks off this nasty little thought loop. It starts with something small, a little whisper in your head. I'm not really getting any better at anything. I'm not improving. This could be about your job, a hobby, anything really.
And at first thought immediately brings a much heavier one along for the ride. And if I'm not improving, well then I must be failing. Our brain just makes that leap, from a simple observation to a huge judgment about our own worth.
And this is the final killer step in that trap. Because if you believe you're already failing, then why even bother trying? And that lack of trying, that apathy, just makes you feel even more stuck. It's a classic vicious cycle. But, and this is a big but, the good news is there's a really simple way to break it.
So how do we break this cycle? The answer, my friends, lies in what you could call the brain's magic button. Your brain is this incredible supercomputer, and it doesn't just tolerate new information, it thrives on it. It absolutely loves to learn.
Now, the science behind this is a concept called neuroplasticity. I know, it sounds like a heavy word, but the idea is actually super simple. It's your brain's amazing ability to rewire itself. Every single time you learn something new, it doesn't matter how small, you are literally changing the physical structure of your brain. It's like a workout for your mind, making it stronger and more flexible.
And the long-term benefits? They're huge. The research Dr. Visoya points to shows that learning isn't just a hobby, it's a protective measure. It can seriously lower your risk of things like depression, anxiety, and even dementia later in life. By learning, you're building up what's called a cognitive reserve, basically a stronger, more resilient brain for your future self. Okay, I know this might all sound a bit abstract, a bit theoretical, so let's look at a real-life story from Dr. Visoya's own practice. This is where the rubber meets the road, where you can see just how powerful this idea really is.
So this was the main complaint from one of his patients, a 32-year-old guy. He just felt like his life was completely flat, totally boring. There was no spark, no excitement in his day-to-day. And that feeling was really starting to weigh on him.
And now, here comes the really cool part. The first step wasn't some heavy medication or months of intensive therapy. Instead, Dr. Visoya suggested something incredibly simple. He encouraged the patient to pick up sketching again, a hobby he'd loved as a kid but had let go of years ago.
And just look at the results. Within a few weeks, just a few weeks of picking up that sketchbook, the changes were incredible. His sleep got better, his self-confidence came roaring back. He had fewer panic episodes. And most importantly, that feeling of excitement he'd been missing, it was back. This wasn't some kind of magic trick. This was simply his brain reacting positively to new, engaging input. Okay, so we've seen the problem and we've seen the proof. So now it's your turn. And before your brain jumps to, but I don't have time to learn a whole new skill, just hang on. Don't worry, the key here is to start small. And believe me, this is the easy part.
Dr. Visoya suggests some really simple, accessible ideas, like learn a couple of words in a new language using an app. Try one new, simple recipe this week. Maybe join a fun local class for something like pottery or yoga. Or, hey, just pick up a book on a topic you know absolutely nothing about.
The goal isn't to become an expert overnight. The goal is just to start. It's all about taking that first step.
And as we start to wrap this up, it's pretty amazing to realize that what modern psychology is telling us now is something our ancestors knew for centuries. This isn't some brand new discovery. It's a piece of timeless wisdom.
In Indian philosophy, there's this beautiful concept called adhyayan. It basically means continuous learning and self-study. And get this, it's not about learning for a job or for an exam, but learning as a direct path to inner joy. It's the idea that growth itself is a kind of healing. In a way, modern psychology is just catching up and proving what this ancient wisdom has known all along.
So if there's one thing to take away from all this, let it be this mantra. When I grow, I glow. Mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So I'll leave you with a question to think about. What's one new, small thing you're going to try this week? Thanks so much for watching.